Cool. Yes. So if any developer has made any small vulnerable mistake in the smart contract, we can expect a large amount of, we need to pay a large amount for that. Okay. Don't make sure that you don't make any mistakes when you're writing your smart contract, like a leaks or a loopholes, so that they can be no mistakes in the smart contract. Okay. So the impact will be very large if you make any mistakes in your smart contract. So all the developers, the blockchain developers in this group, make sure that your smart contract is very efficient with no loopholes. Okay. And with no leakage of data. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? So that's the reason I have told you to see about the DAO attack. Is that clear to everyone? Cool. So we'll just start our class today. Today we'll just do a smart contract on a supply chain. Okay, before that, guys, please just follow a few instructions I'm showing. Okay, just follow this part. Guys, is my screen is visible? Is it visible now? Cool. So guys, just follow my few steps before we are going to for the our contract to have today's class agenda of today's class. But before that, please follow these steps so that I hope everyone have successfully installed the MetaMask in their in their group Google Chrome or any browser extensions. Okay, so now just follow the steps to have a ethers so that you'll have a test ethers and you can deploy your contract on the test nets. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Cool. Just follow these steps. Make sure go to the Google Chrome. Make sure you have a Google Chrome extension. Sorry, MetaMask extension. Okay. Now, just use the keywords like ringb faucet, FAUCET. I'll just share the link in your chat. Just go to this link. Everyone, please go to that link. Okay. So that you'll just have the test ethers in your MetaMask. Okay. Just copy the, just open the MetaMask, unlock the MetaMask. Select the account to which you want a test ethers. Okay. Go to the, if you are in the ringb, go to the ringb test network, copy the account address to which you want ethers, copy that account. Now, what you all need to do? Okay, everyone, for this you need to have at least a Twitter account or a Facebook account. Okay, there is no problem in posting in Twitter or a Facebook Okay, if you want the ethers from the ring B test network, you have to do these steps. Okay, is that clear, guys, to everyone? Are you following these steps? Cool. I hope everyone are in this screen. Next, move at the down. Here is a small instructions. How does this work? Okay, just click on the to request funds via Twitter. Make a tweet. So try to click on that tweet. You will just redirect it to your Twitter account. Okay. Can you see here? You are redirected to your Twitter account. Now, what you all need to do is just remove this hexadecimal address and paste your address from the MetaMask. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Guys, is that clear to everyone? Please raise your hands. Cool. Now, to tweet this part, okay? You'll definitely get ethers in your, after tweeting that part, after tweeting this, what you all need to do is just click on this. Sorry, just a second. Just copy this part, the link, and paste it here. You can select any ethers you want. Okay. Click on anything. Funding requested, accepted for Shivasani at Twitter into this account. I'll just cross check funded. I'll just cross check this part. We'll see when the it will be reflected in my account. Cool. Can you see that? I have received 3 ethers. I hope everyone got this part. Is it clear to everyone? Please reply in chat ASAP so that we'll just move to another part. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? How to receive ETH, how to have a ethers in your testnet? Cool, no issues. You have a Facebook, then you can, or else there is another test network. I'll just show you. Just use this, follow this part. Okay, go to that link. Okay, after going to that link, what you all need to do is, how does this work? In this how does this work, you can see a Twitter account where you can make a tweet. Okay, click on this tweet. Cool. I think one of our students has started the funding, I think so. Yeah, so click on the tweet. You'll just redirect it to the Twitter account, and here in this hexadecimal address, paste your address to which you want the ethers. Okay, after this, click on tweet. Later you'll just have this tweet. Click on this tweet, expand this tweet, copy the URL and paste it here. Is that clear, guys? And give me ethers. See, we can have a 3 ethers for 8 hours. There is a limitation for that. Okay, is that clear, guys? so that we'll just move to another part. Guys, give me a response so that I'll just move. Cool. So there is we have a ring B, then we'll just move to the Robston faucet. Click on Robston Ethereum faucet. I'll just share the link here. Please everyone go there. There will be not much, not very to get the Robson ethers. We have to follow a simple step, not more than that. A single step. Go to the Robson test network and copy the address to which you want the ethers and paste that address here. Can you see we have around 2.9 ethers in the Robson test network. Now send me test ethers. Done. They have sent a Robson test ethers. We'll see when they will reflect here. I think it may take some time, but not too much time, because the transaction has been succeeded and we have a hash here. How many of you followed these steps? Have any doubts in this Robson Ethereum faucet? Just go to the Robson Ethereum test network, click on that, copy the address of any account to which you want the ethers, paste the account here, testnet account, send me ether, test ethers. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Raise your hands, guys. Cool. I need a response in the chat also, guys. Please give a response so that we'll move forward. Cool, cool. Now, we have a test ethers now. You all can deploy your smart contracts on these test networks from the Remix IDE. Okay. Whenever you want to deploy that contract in the test networks, you can use these ethers to deploy those. Is that clear to everyone? Everyone open this website, infuro.io. Guys, have you opened this website? Be fast, guys. I need a quick response. Okay. I only getting few responses, guys. Please raise your hand and give a quick response in the chat. Anything is fine. Now, cool. Now just create your account here. This is a Ethereum API is provided by the Infura. This website, this account is much needed for the dApp development if you want to deploy the dApp in any test networks. Okay. Make sure you definitely have an account in this now. Okay. Don't do anything. Just create the account. I'll follow my steps. I'll let you know when to use this Infura APIs. Is that clear to everyone? Cool. Just follow these steps. Create your account. And just let me know, because I already have an account. I'll just log in that part. Create this part, create this account, giving your basic details like email and the password. So everyone, after creating this account, you will be just redirected to this page, web page, or like a friend page. All you all need to do is simple thing, go to the Ethereum. Okay, if you have if you are open to read this open docs whenever you have a time. Okay, I hope everyone are in this after creating the web account. I hope everyone are on this page. Okay, so next click on the Ethereum. Now you have a the Ethereum Infura will provide a 3 projects for you. Okay, I mean the sample projects where you can be using for the where you can use these projects. Okay, so try to use the project more efficiently. Cool. Now, how to create a new project? So after clicking on the Ethereum, you'll just redirect it to this page. Click on create a new project. Give a name to your project. Anything called blockchain. Give any name to your project, and all we need is, guys, remember, only we need the endpoints. Okay, only we need this mainnet, Infura, these keys. These are very important, guys. These endpoints are for the mainnet. We'll get for the Robston, Ringby, Owen, and the Goril. Okay, to deploy the DApp in the any test network, we just need to have the test network endpoints. Okay, and remaining thing will be taken care by the Infura. Is it clear? Everyone are created their project? Just give a quick response, guys. Everyone have created their project, right? Cool. Cool. Don't forget the login credentials, guys. It's very important for the DApp development. You have to have this Infura account, and all we need is only the keys, the endpoints. Now we'll just move to the today's session. I hope everyone have clear, right? I'm just moving to the further sessions. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Just raise your hands, guys. Cool. Make sure you don't forget this keys. Cool, cool. I hope everyone can see my screen right now. Cool. Guys, we'll just discuss the flow of DApp today. Later, we'll just implement the smart contract which we are developing for the DApp. Later, we'll just go to the module Web3. Later, we'll just move to the front end. Okay, now consider this as 3 parts, as a 3 points, like a 3 dots. At the end, we'll join these 3 dots so that we'll complete a DApp. Is that clear? In this session, I mean in this course, everyone will complete the 2 dapps, where one dApp will be teaching by me and everything like a flow. Every step will be taught by me, and the next tab will be a capstone project where you have a task, you have to complete everything on your own. Is that clear? One will be a smooth run, one dApp will be a smooth run, so that you are familiar with the every flow in the developing a dApp, and the another project is like a capstone project where you have to put your hands on for that. Is that clear to everyone? So that each and every person in this course will definitely complete two projects. We are not limiting the person to develop a single capstone project. We are giving the opportunity to every person to have a 2 dApps, so that they can gain more skills in developing the dApp. Is that clear to everyone? Cool, that's great. So guys, please use this opportunity to the utmost, so that you follow this DApp, so that you can definitely use your skills and completing the task for the capstone project. Is that clear, guys? Just follow the flow tab, flow of this tab. Flow is much more important. Okay. First thing, first most, what we need to do, we need to write a smart contract. Okay. Then we need to move to the Web3. Then we need to move to the front end. Okay. How we'll connect these dots? Okay. Smart contract part is done. We'll write the smart contract, and what we'll do, we'll just compile the smart contract. Next, all we send the data, like Web3, I have told you, like it's a middleware, right? So all, if Web3 is like between a bridge where it helps us in communicating the front end to smart contract and smart contract to the front end, like a front end to back end, back end to front end. Is that clear, guys? So Web3 will take a intermediate part. To the Web3, all we pass is a ABI file, like an application binary interface. So this interface, like a Web3, will help us in talking with the smart contract from front end. Is that clear, guys? This is how the flow works. We have a back end for the smart contract, front end for the HTML and the CSS and JavaScript, and the Web3, it's like a middleware part. This helps us in communicating and joining these dots. So at the end of this flow, what we all do to complete an app is to connect all these dots. Like a smart contract is one dot, Web3 is a one dot, front end is one dot. We need to connect this all three so that we'll complete our app. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Cool, great guys, great guys. Now, before next, so what the main thing I have thought is, if I explain you the flow, whenever writing a smart contract, you will understand what are the things we will pass the data to the Web3 so that we can use it in the front end. That's the reason I'm explaining the flow, so that we can simultaneously complete a dApp when we are writing a smart contract. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Now, we'll just move to the next part. Before moving to a smart contract, for the dApp which we develop, I'll just explain you the flow, the functionality. Okay, the functionality is much more when we don't directly jump into the code, guys, every time. Just understand the flow logic. After that, you can you have to write your code. Okay, first make sure you have the whole flow and the logic of the problem. Then you have to move further. Is that clear to everyone? Cool. So guys, please understand this supply chain functionality. So if you understood everything, how we are writing, how we are solving this problem, then understanding the smart contract will be much more easier, because we already know the functionality, how the data works, how the flow is going. So it is very easy to understand the flow and the contract. Now I'll just let you know what are the basic structure of the supply chain will be. Okay, so guys, please stay with me for 5 minutes. Okay, please understand this flow, so that this is the dApp we'll develop. I'll just help you out in develop. Okay, this is the one of the dApp. I'll just make you to complete this dApp, so that another capstone project will be completed by you. Okay, understand this flow so that it may help you to complete your capstone project in the same way. Is that clear, guys? Cool. Now we'll just move forward. So in a basic scenario, we have a supply chain where the manufacturer, there are different number of players in a supply chain. Okay, where the product is created and it's transferred to the manufacturer. Okay, later the manufacturer will transfer the product to the stockholder or a warehouse. Later the stockholder will transfer the product to wholesaler, from wholesaler to retailer, retailer to consumer. These are the steps, but there is no tracking of the product at anywhere, and there is no and these are the loopholes. We don't know how many products have been, where the counterfeit products have been adding in the network, and we don't know how exactly who are the key players have been adding the counterfeit products. I mean, we are developing this project so that we can reduce the adding of the counterfeit products in our supply chain or else the fake products. Is that clear? Why we have choose the supply chain? So that we can reduce the counterfeit of the products in any industry where they have a supply chain mechanism, so that they make sure that every person in the using their product will get the provenance of that product, and they will definitely get the is the product is have a authenticity or not, is it getting from the original supplied manufacturer or not. Is that clear, guys? Because all this data we are keeping on the blockchain. Once the data is on the blockchain, we'll help them to get a provenance of this product, each and every product. Is that clear, guys? Cool. So I'll just tell you again, we'll just create a product with name, description, and a unique UID. Okay, there will be a unique UID for the every product. Okay, so we'll just give that unique UID so to determine to call the product at any way. So how we are doing this? So the asset creator will create a product and give a name, description, and unique UID and register on the blockchain. After that, he will transfer the product to the manufacturer. What the manufacturer will do, he'll transfer the product to the stockholder. Same thing flows on. But here there is a small thing we need to, because this same flow will be is implemented in the supply chain. What is the difference in using the blockchain? Okay, there has to be a bit difference, and there has to be a small logic where we need to restrict the counterfeit of the products, right? Because we are using the smart contract, which is the next best thing. Is that clear, guys? But how we are solving this problem? Like, we are using the same flow. I have explained you the same flow which is there in the conventional way. Like, a person creates the product, he will send the product to manufacturer, he will send the product to stockholder. The same thing goes on. But there is a chance of adding a counterfeit products here. Is that clear? But how we are restricting that through the smart contract? That's the important thing we have to know. Is that clear, guys? Are you there with me, everyone? I hope. I'll just let you know how many of. Can you just suggest me a small part? How can we do that? Any idea? Anyone? Just a quick text. Anyone? How can we do that? No, that's good. Not exactly close to that. Thanks for those answers. But see, we are using the, because yeah, everyone has to update the data. See, there is the same flow works with the Amazon. Take the Amazon for example. When we have a when we get the all the data of our product, where the of the supply chain, where the product exactly is at. Okay, there is no big deal of we can. Cool, that's great. But there is much more thing we can do. Okay, because we are using the smart contract. We are not using the general conventional thing. Okay, so those answers were great, guys. Great. You are very close to the answer. Okay, so I'll just let you know, we are using the smart contract. Okay, we know the addresses, because every asset creator, manufacturer, stockholder, wholesaler, retailer, remove the consumer part for now, all this part have a fixed account address. So every person, like a manufacturer, will have a fixed public address. In the same way, stockholder will have a fixed public address, wholesaler will have a fixed public address, retailer will have a fixed public address. Now, what we have to do? So I'll just, the asset creator, the person who are creating this product, like the owner of the supply chain of a company, what he will do, he can use see, there are already have their public addresses, so he can predefine the product. I mean, he can predefine the account addresses so that the product can be transferred to this only specific address. Is that clear? Does this, using this public addresses in the smart contract, we are just limiting them to only pass the product to the specific address. Does this problem solve the counterfeit issue? Raise your hands, guys. Does this solve this product? Does this solution, like the predefining the account address in the smart contract, can this solve this problem? How many of you raise your hands for this? You're open, guys. You're open. Yeah, I'll just repeat this once again. So every player have a account. Public will be definitely having a public address. So what we are doing, we are just taking the public address and predefining the public address so that the product will be definitely sent only to the manufacturer to the respective public address only. So that we are limiting that the product will not be transferred to any unauthorized person on the supply chain. Are we doing this? Does this step help us in stopping the counterfeit of this product? Yes, but not to the core. There is another step, because we are open to use the smart contract. We can make our own rules. Okay, we are open to do anything because we are the developers. We have to use our creativity so that we can make sure that we have to restrict the part. There has to be no loopholes. Is that clear? Now, how we can do that? We have another thing in a smart contract. We are giving the product ID. UUID is nothing but a product ID for every product. Okay. Now, how? So there is another part, another flow, another step in this supply chain where we have created we already have the account addresses. But if we restrict that, if suppose the manufacturer is trying to send a product, so see, I'll just tell you a flow. Manufacturer and wholesaler want to make a counterfeit products. What he will do, instead of sending the product to the stockholder, he want to directly send the product to the wholesaler, so that he want to blame the stockholder once, because even after predefining the contract public addresses, the manufacturer has to send the product to the has a right to send the product to the anyone in the supply chain, because we didn't mention any rules for that. So manufacturer send the product to the wholesaler, and he will blame that have sent the product and here the counterfeit stock. In this flow, the sending the product from manufacturer to the wholesaler, there will be a small add of the counterfeit product. There will be a loophole because the stockholder has been left out from the supply chain. Okay, but how we can solve this part? Have you understood this part? Like if the manufacturer is directly sending the product to the wholesaler without sending the product to the stockholder, there will be a mismatch of the product. I mean the like a product audit, like the number of product will be not tally with the stockholder and all the assets. There will be a miscommunication and there will be a loophole where there will be a chance of adding a counterfeit product. Is that clear, guys? Understood this problem? Great. We have to restrict the flow. Definitely we have to restrict, because we have the chance to restrict that. All we are doing is we have the smart contract. We are not making sure that we don't have the legitimate paper contract. We have the developers, we have the code which can be done everything automatically. That's the best thing we have to do, and we can solve the many more problems. Okay, now what the organizer will do, like the owner of the supply chain, have the thought that what if they will do a reverse mechanism, right? Listen guys, this is the last step. If they do a reverse mechanism like that, the retailer has to get only product from the wholesaler, only the account address from the wholesaler. Okay, the wholesaler can only accept the product only from the stockholder. Okay, they will write the code in a way that the wholesaler will have only access, can only accept the product from the stockholder. The stockholder can only accept the product from the manufacturer. In the same way, the manufacturer can only accept the product from the asset creator. Can we find any loophole here? Like the manufacturer, if the manufacturer want to send a product to the wholesaler, but the wholesaler will not accept, even the manufacturer is trying, we can find the loophole that we can find the culprit like a black sheep who want to make a mistake in a supply chain. But this is how we'll just try to restrict in a reverse mechanism that we are restricting that the retailer will have only access to receive a product from the wholesaler. Wholesaler will have the only access, like we are writing in a code where that the wholesaler will only get a product from the stockholder, stockholder from the manufacturer, manufacturer from the asset creator. Thus, are everyone understood the flow? How we are restricting and how we are solving the problem in the supply chain, like how we are doing to do using the contract every to the most so that we can restrict the contract supply chain to adding the counterfeit product. How many of you understood this part? How does it, so how is the solution for this? Do we have anything to be added more to this flow? There is open suggestions. There is no problem in suggesting any idea. We are open to do those. We are the developers. We have to take anything openly. Okay, there is no problem. Only that speaks, not the words. The code has to speak. Okay, how much code is, how much efficient is the code, that much how we have to speak. Tell me any suggestions. Are there any loopholes you can find here? Because the flow is important, guys. When we are done with the flow, we'll directly jump into the code. We have to make sure that we don't have anything left over, so that we have directly we have the flow, we have the structure. Now all we need to do is write the steps, like write the code in the flow. Guys, can anyone suggest me any loopholes? How did they understood the flow? Are there any doubts in this flow? But how duplicate products can be created? Because the person, the owner, the asset creator is a, see, if the owner is trying to make a duplicate product, then how can we help those? Okay, the owner has to be a legitimate person, so that the owner, if the person is trying to give the authentic products, the person who's trying to do an authentic product will only choose this solution for them, because a creator will never try to make sure that his product is counterfeited, because there will be a huge loss to the organization. The counterfeit products are created by or manufactured by some another person, and they're added to this flow so that he will gain the price for that. He is earning the money on the name of this organization. So asset creator will make sure that there will be a no loophole in creating a duplicate products. Okay, all the products will be there on the supply chain only if the asset creator will make it keep on the flow. But there is one more thing, we have a tracking here. Okay, as we are using the blockchain, we are definitely going to have this step. I mean, we'll definitely having a feature. So that's a cool thing we can do with the blockchain part. So we'll get the provenance of that product. That's how we'll just do the help the provenance, right? At the now the retailer will have access to send the product to the consumer. Okay, how? Because consumer retailer will definitely go to the consumer will definitely go to the retailer and buy the product. When they're buying the product, we'll give them the flow. Like if we have a QR code, if they scan the QR code on the product, they'll get the provenance, like every step, at which time, at what time the product is at, and what time at the manufacture, every step. Like it's a like a basic details will get from the Amazon delivery, like your Flipkart delivery, any e-commerce delivery site. But we are just making sure that all the data is on the blockchain. We are not worried about the front end part. We are worried about the way the data is storing, is the data is manipulating, and everything. Because once the data is on the blockchain, we can update, but we can't change it. There is no chance. We are not, and we are restricting to even update that data. Okay, that's how we are making sure that we are giving the provenance to the consumer, and we are restricting the persons who are, I mean the players who are on the supply chain, restricting them to create a product, I mean do a counterfeit of the product. Is that clear, guys? No, we don't have to. Product ID will be definitely be a unique. Okay, there will be a no repetition of the counter product. Even if we do, we have a space where even if you have the same product UUID, there will be a error, pop-up error, that you have already used this UUID. So that, see, we will restrict those. We can restrict those parts. Okay. Any doubts more? How have you understood this flow, everyone? How we are solving this supply chain counterfeit problem? This is the DApp you are going to develop, guys. Okay, this is the DApp I'll help you all to develop. Does it sounds exciting? Want to develop? Want to have a hands-on? Want to see the exact flow, how the transaction works? Okay, but all I need is the, we have to be more active in giving the response, completing the assignments, all I need. Okay, because before, without knowing the DAO attack, you don't know why we have a versions in the smart contract. Because if you are the developer, guys, you have to know some things that are very crucial. Because you have a blockchain developer, you are new to this market, we have to make sure that we have all the answers. Like we need to have the flow, have the answers for the things we are writing. Okay, that's where the legitimate, like we call the efficient, which we have the developer will have the more worth on the market. Okay, make sure that your work speaks more. If your contract is more legitimate, okay, your contract is more efficient without a loophole. See, there is a DAO, in the DAO attack, they have lost millions of dollars. I mean, there was a huge loss because of small glitch. Okay, there will be a glitch, guys. Make sure that you don't have any glitch on your sublet. Suppose a person have implemented this solution in one of his organization, the supply chain solution. If we have any glitch, then there will be a huge loss to the supply chain, because he have been invested his amount in our product. And one more thing, there will be a loss for him, as there will be adding of the counterfeit product. There is no if our product doesn't solve his problem, then there will be a huge loss to him and huge loss to us as a developer. Make sure that your product is yes, there will be a small leaks. I mean, that's the reason we have the versions. There will be a no end-to-end product without any errors, without any loopholes. Definitely we'll have a loopholes. Okay, there is a person who will find that, that's not a big issue. But make sure that at every version, give your best. Okay, I'll just give you a small example to make sure you understand how the versions work. See, when I'm developing this project, the supply chain project, I didn't. This is not the first solution I came to. Guys, mute yourself. I have muted them. If you have any doubts, please raise your hands and let me know that you have a doubt. I'll just unmute you all for that. Okay, don't make yourself too, it may distract the other students. So guys, I'll just tell you the versions that this is the not the final solution I came up when I first developing this supply chain. Okay, there are some loopholes, there are some changes I made from the first. Okay, I'll just have those. I'll just make sure that this is the not the final product. Even that, if even if we have any changes, even if you let me know when we are developing the app, that sir, we have some issues. We can solve this product in the, we can update the supply chain application in a more efficient way. Then good, well and good. We'll just update this loophole. We'll just push the code and we'll just commit the changes, and then we'll just have the another great product with the solving another issues. Is that clear, guys? Yeah, open. Everyone is open to explore the things. Everyone are open to suggest the things which you have thoughts. Okay, make sure that you use your platform, this platform, as a great sharing of your knowledge. When you share the knowledge, you will gain the knowledge. That's the thing you have to know. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, I'll just explain the flow again and we'll just move to the code now. Okay, I hope everyone has understood the flow. I'll just give a quick recap of this flow and we'll just move to the code now, or else I will just move to the code, or we'll at the end we will just analyze, have a quick recap. How you will say, do a recap now, or at the end of the class you do? Cool, I'll just give a small brief now. So the most of the supply chain conventional supply chains will have a problem, major, not a small problem. It's a major problem, like a counterfeit. Yeah, we have seen a lot of product. Even we have even the some products we buy from the official store. There are some counterfeit products. There are some cases. Even see, when consider like a big e-commerce site like a there is a Snapdeal, there is a Snapdeal, right? They are selling the like in the official e-commerce, they're selling a legitimate counterfeit product. See the level of legitimate having a in the counterfeit product. Yo, understand the problem there. Even the e-commerce site is not able to guess that are there any counterfeit products in the supply chain or not. That's the problem. That's a huge problem. A billion dollar market. This is the supply chain. Even if we solve this problem, there will be a great use, guys. Okay, now what we are doing in the supply chain, there is a loopholes where the counterfeit of the products have been added on the flow of the supply chain, because we have a key players like the asset creator, manufacturer, stockholder, wholesaler, and the retailer, and the end we have a consumer like a customer. So that the manufacturer will move a product to the stockholder, stockholder to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer, and the consumer. But there will be a mismatch. There will be a the tally doesn't work with the all the flow. There will be a adding of the counterfeit products at any place at any point in the supply chain. That's the reason we came up with a solution where, right, when the asset is created on the network, we are using the blockchain, right? When the asset is created on the network, we'll just give the name of the product, description for the product, and a unique UUID. So that make sure that your unique UUID is a very difficult one, and for the testing purpose, so okay, I'm just letting you know in a real case scenario. Make sure that you have a unique UUID for every product, so that the asset is transferred to the manufacturer with the unique UUID. The same thing follows. The manufacturer will send the product to the stockholder, stockholder to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer. Yes, there is a one more part we need to understand here is the retailer have only access, like we have the addresses of all these players, like we have a public address of the manufacturer, stockholder address, wholesaler address, and the retailer address. Now in the smart contract, we are mentioning that we are writing a code in a way that only the retailer will have access to the wholesale, can only accept the product from the wholesaler, and the wholesaler will only accept the product from the stockholder. The stockholder will only accept the product from the manufacturer. The manufacturer will have only access to accept the product from the main source, like the asset creator, where the actual product starts. This is how we'll stop the usage of the counterfeit on the supply chain, so that we are making sure that there is no problem, that there is no loophole in adding a counterfeit of this product. Okay. And next, what we will do at the end, the consumer has to know what is the provenance of the product. I mean, he has to know that the product is coming from the asset creator. We have another layer for the consumer, that he can get the access to know the provenance of this product, because we are on the blockchain. That's not a big issue to make sure that the consumer is getting the provenance of the product. Okay, this is how the flow of the supply chain works. I hope everyone have understood that. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Raise your hands if you have any doubts. Please let me know. We'll just move forward. Yes, there is no limitation for our creativity, but there is a limitation in writing a code. How many of you accept for this? That's where the problem lies. Okay. Cool. We can develop that. What is an issue? We'll just add a one more asset creator. Make sure that, see, that's a right question, Rohit. See, suppose we have a Rohit asset creator, so that we'll just add two more asset creators here at the top. We'll just add one more asset creator here, one more asset creator here, and make sure that we'll take the addresses, and the manufacturer will have the access of this address, so the manufacturer can accept the products from the asset create like another product, so that we can update the smart contracts according to this. Yes, I mean, I didn't get exactly the module. What does the module exactly mean in your case? Rohit, I think you got your answer. I think so. Cool. Yeah, everything is like every part is a structure. We are creating a structure for every part. Okay, don't worry that you'll just jump there. How many, first before that, how many of you agree with me that there is no limitation for creativity, there is a limitation for writing a code? Just raise your hands. Yes, that's where the problem lies. There is no limitation. Okay, we can think anything. We can solve the problem, okay, with our creativity. But we need to make sure that we have a system where does the creativity accessed by that system, or else we need to develop that. Okay, all the developers are problem solvers. So cool. Now, so I hope everyone understood this part, and we'll just move to the smart contract. Okay, is that okay, guys? We'll just move now. Have you everyone understood the flow, right? Cool, cool, cool. Everyone open your first I'll explain you the part. Can everyone see my screen, right? Is it visible to everyone? Cool. What I'll do, I'm just sharing the doc in the group. Download this doc as of now. Later, we'll send a whole zip file for the dApp. Is that clear, guys? Guys, I have shared the doc in the group or in the WhatsApp group. Please use the doc. Okay. And I'll just tell you I'll just explain you the flow now. Okay. Should I start now? Are everyone ready, right? Raise your hands, guys. Cool. The first and foremost, what we need to do, declare the Solidity version. Second, the contract. Okay, I'll just a second. I need to change the contract name. I'll just remove this part. Get another one. Name it as asset tracker. Cool. Done. Now the next thing. Done with the done with the first line, giving a solidity version, giving the second line, what is the name of the contract. Third, the first thing first most, what we need to create the asset, like the name, the description, the manufacturer asset. Okay. The address of the manufacturer, we are mentioning clearly the address of the manufacturer. Next, we need to make sure that we have a tracking, like to get the provenance of that. How we'll get the provenance for that? We'll use the address as a location, string as a UUID and the time, like a timestamp. Okay. Now, what we need to make sure that we have to have a structure for the manufacturer, location. The same thing follows for the stockholders, for the wholesaler, for the retailer, and the end user. End user is nothing but here the consumer. Okay. Now, here we are creating a products now. Is that clear, guys? Like a structure of the every module, the key players on the supply chain are what we are creating. We are creating a structure for the name of the asset, like the name, description, manufacturer, and the initialization. Like it's a bool. You'll get the function, will know how we are using that boolean function. Okay, tracking with the unique UUID, time, unique time, like a timestamp for the tracking of the product. Okay, now we'll just move to the next part, like a mapping. How we will do a mapping? I hope you have already know what is a mapping, right? So what we are doing here, just a second, guys. Cool. I hope everyone are okay with familiar with the VS Code, right? Cool. If you don't have VS Code, please download that. Okay. Now, I hope everyone, my code is visible to everyone, right? Please let me know, guys, fast. Cool. Now, what we are doing here? Now, we are mapping every tracking, like a tracking structure to a string, because we will track a product by it's a unique UUID number, I mean the string. Okay, where we are making sure that we have a locations for that. We have created a parameter for that, for like a location will store the unique UUID. When we call the unique UUID, we'll get the information of the tracking. Okay, the same thing follows. We are mapping a manufacturer details, like the location, string, and the time, to a string of the manufacturer parameter. Where is that manufacturer parameter? Here. So that to the manufacturer parameter, when we are calling the unique UUID value, we'll just send this data to the string. We will call this data. Is that clear, guys? Cool. Just try to give a quick response, guys. Now, next, the same thing follows with the stock. Okay, we are mapping everything. When we call the product with the unique UUID, we'll just know where the exact location of the product and the unique UUID time with the location of the product. The location is nothing but the public address. The public addresses are predefined. Okay. Now, the same thing follows with the wholesaler, where we are making sure that the structure has the whole, we are assigning the structure value to the string of the wholes. So whole is nothing but the parameter where when we call the unique UUID, we'll just call the whole structure. The same thing with the retailer. We are calling the retailers with the same unique UUID, and for the understanding of the app, I've created the consumer also, where whenever we call the consumer, we'll get the data for that. How we'll get the data? Is that clear, guys? How we are using the structure for the mapping, so that when we call the unique UUID of the data, how we are getting those? Okay, is that clear to everyone? Guys, need some response in the group. Sorry, in the chat, or else raise your hands. Great. Now, we have done with the mapping. All we need to do is and there is one more thing, which has to be a private part, because the asset store, the owner of the asset, has passing the calling the product of where the asset is. The first thing, the asset have been with the name, description, and the address of the manufacturer to the product, to the address, to which address you have sending the product, has making the data has private. Okay, it's an internal for the internal only we have made this as a private thing. Is that clear, guys? Next, we have a events. Why we have a events? When we call the contract externally with the ABA and the contract code, like a contract address, this event parameters arguments are called, are emitted for this function. Okay, like for the asset create, that's great. There is no problem in mentioning the private, or it's a default, but to make sure to understand. So as I need to explain to everyone, I need to have to remember the things why we are using this as a private. Okay, that's the reason. For our sake, for my sake, I made sure to use the private key, private syntax here. Don't worry about that. As I told you before, you don't have to mention the private. It's always a private if you didn't mention that. Only you need to mention the public. Is that clear, guys? Nikhil, have you got that answer? Next, we have a events. So what does this events do? They'll do nothing but they'll emit the everything externally. When we call the contract externally, we'll just get the emitted data externally. But there was a student who have asked, suppose do we have a same UUID? When we are trying to create an asset with the same UUID again, we'll get the pop-up message that asset with this UUID as already exists, because we are just letting the person know that we already have the unique UUID. Why are you using the same unique UUID again? Okay, just use a different unique UUID. This can be only have the access to the asset store, like the person who are creating the product. Okay, the person who is creating the product will just let him know that you already have this unique UUID. Don't use this unique UUID again, because we have the things to let him know. We have the code for that. Simple as that. Now what we are doing here, so we are creating an asset with an arguments with a name called event creator. We are creating an event with a name asset create, and we are passing the arguments like address, like a manufacturer, UUID, and the location. And the asset transfer, we are creating another event like asset transfer with the from address, to address, and the unique UUID and the time. So asset transfer is nothing but where we'll get to know the location of this using this asset transfer. Okay, for this event, this will emit that from address, to address, UUID, and sign time, so that we can transfer the product to the different structures or the different key players on the supply chain. Okay, so now the first and foremost thing, we need to create the now first and foremost we have a function where we need to create an asset. I'll just run this code. Make sure guys, some places in some IDs there will be a gas list. Make sure that if your contract doesn't deploys, try to increase the gas limit. That's it. Okay, I'll just deploy the contract in the local virtual local host. Done. Oh my god, what I got? I got some error. Transaction execution failed. Why? Can you see this, guys? The error? Everything looks fine for me, but why we have this error? Just a second. I'll just try to increase my gas limit so that I'll just debug this part. As we are developers, we have a chance to debug. Transaction cost, the gas cost is only the limit we have. Transaction cost is this, execution cost is this. We'll once check. Suppose if we increase the gas limit, are we able to deploy the contract? Done. See, have you saw that? Without the gas limit, if we have the limited gas limit, there is no chance of deploying the contract on the network. Make sure that if you have any errors, you have to increase the gas limit. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Cool. Now we have deployed the contract. These are the functionalities. So that I'll just simultaneously explain you how the code works. Okay. Make sure you understood everything. Okay, guys, I think we have less time here. So guys, what we'll do, we'll just limit this part here. Okay, what I'll do, as this we are developing a app, I just don't want to make the call end in a very hurry-burry way. Okay, we'll just make sure that we end in a proper way. We have a recap, and at the end we'll have a 10 minutes for the doubts and the clarification. Okay, I'll just end the session here now. I'll just make the stop for the explaining the further things. For today, we have learned how the mapping works. Okay, tomorrow we'll just know how the function, what are the functions, and how we are returning the data. And moreover, you have the contract, guys. I'm telling you again, if you have any changes, I mean, you are the developer, make sure that you think like a developer. Okay, you think like a developer, guys. I want some changes. I mean, I want some collaboration with the students whom I thought, okay, so that we'll collaboratively develop this app in a much more efficient way. Is that cool, guys? I want some updates. I mean, I want some commits, code commits to push to my Git. Is that cool? Are there any changes you find? Please let me know. Consider this as an open source project. I mean, you are aware of open source project, right? Consider this as an open source project now. You're open to let me know any changes you want to make. Is that cool? Now good. So guys, let me know what are the doubts you have. We'll have this session now, like a last 10 minutes to clearing your doubts. Let me know if you have any doubts fast. So we have some time. We'll make sure that clear your doubts. How many of you, I just want to start this part now. How many of you like the DAO attack? Guys, need some response. I mean, tell me, if you have any doubts, please ask me, guys. I'll just make sure that we'll have a guys, make sure you have your mic as in muted. I have muted them. Guys, just shoot me with the questions or the doubts you have. How's the work is going on? I mean, how everything is going in writing in working on your own Solidity program. So, yeah. So I mean the yeah. Likita, sorry for that. Just send me the message in somewhere because when we close this chat, the messages are gone. I can't see your uh, data again. So make sure that you send that message again. Okay, cool. It's for the Jyotsna Likita. Cool. Yeah. Ethers. I mean, ethers. I'll just explain that part now. But before that, uh, yeah, Solidity language is created for this environment, the Ethereum, for the blockchain purpose only. But the only problem the blockchain faces is the transaction speed. Okay, there is a speed. We need the speed, but how? Why? See, I'll just share one interesting point with you all. Just try to make sure understand this part. I mean, decode this part as much as you can. Okay. See, if a person, I have a company, I have my company is established for 10 years. Okay. Consider that I have a 10 years company, have a 10 years company now. I have a right where that I need to show my 10 years old data. You know how this the works, right? The government purposes works, right? They need the data like the tally, all the audits from the day one the company has been started. How many of you know this part? Like we need to show them that every data we have, every transaction we have, how much amount we are charging, like every data. Okay. So now there is a one more yes, I mean there will be a problem like we can't have a data from the past 10 years like the day one where the company has been from the day one the company has started. But in the conventional way, what the company is using without the blockchain, they can do a transaction at the speed as they want. I mean, within a second, they can do a lakhs of transaction. The Visa, the RuPay, the Mastercard can do a lakhs of transaction, thousands of transaction within a second. But the purpose of using the blockchain is totally different when we are coming to the transaction. Okay, see, the purpose and the main theme, the blockchain, the Ethereum, and the Bitcoin. Bitcoin totally purpose is different, and the blockchain technology we are using that purpose is different. Okay, please understand this point, guys. This is a very important point you all need to know. Suppose we are making sure that want to have a transaction speed, but suppose I have a company from 10 years, consider as an example as from 20 years, I'm using I'm using that blockchain technology from day one, and from day one, uh, uh, I have stored every data on the blockchain. But whenever there is a need of my data from the day one, I can get my 10 years, 20 years, 30 years data within a second. Because in a blockchain, we can store the data which we want, and the data is immutable, and there is no removal or deleting of a data. See the purpose. The time we want to get, I mean, in a conventional way, the data which we want in a normal company of the 10 years data, it may take, I don't even know how much it may take to collect all the data for 10 years. But if you're using the blockchain, if you want to get the 30 years data of that company, you can get the data is available within a seconds, like within a minutes. Okay. See the purpose. The purpose of the blockchain may serve in a different way. We have to know what the exact purpose of that. That's where we can use the purpose to the utmost core, and we can understand the flow, and we can develop in that way. Is that clear to everyone, guys? But we have a packages for that. Don't worry, in every language we have a packages, any npm packages for that. You will get there are a lot more developers who have made the just a second, guys. There are a lot more ways of generating a QR code. All you need to do is, we have a packages which automatically generates a QR code, and passing that data, it's on our side. We can pass any data to the QR code. Is that clear? Ramakrishna and Robson said, yes, we have to wait for 24 hours. After that, there you can do again, you again will get the ring network. And simple way of regarding DAO attack is nothing but there is a glitch, small glitch in the contract that made, like, one of our developer had found that issue, like found that loophole, and made sure that he have access that contract and block the block the Ethereums and um, all the stake which have on that contract. So that can be considered as one of the major breakthrough on the blockchain. That not a breakthrough, we can also consider it as one of the major loophole in a drastic way, in a very drastic way. As the time which have been there was a crucial time for the Ethereum at that time, as the people are gaining some trust on the blockchain part. There was a huge disaster, we call it as the DAO attack. Later that part has been uh, updated. That's the reason we have versions of the solidity contract. How many of you understood this part, and how many of you understood this, how, what is the main purpose, like the company which we use? See, use the purpose of the blockchain, know the things very exactly. That's how we can use the, see, a developer has to know things which which we can do with the blockchain, which we can't do with the blockchain. Try to gain more knowledge as you much. Is that clear, guys? Any more doubts? Ask me, guys, any doubts? Guys, one more thing, don't stick with the only with the course content, or only stick with the 1.5 hour class. You have to explore some things on your own. You have to do your homework. You have to work on your own. Okay, I'll just help you. If you want to develop something, if you have your contract, you have your problem, just let me know. I'll help you out. Okay, is that clear, guys? Make sure you use this time to the utmost. Okay, is that clear, guys? No, consumer, see, for our purpose, Abdul, that's a nice question, but making sure to understand the DApp flow, I mean, the developer has to understand the DApp flow. We have created that account. The consumer will not get the, doesn't need an account, but he will get the QR code with the provenance. When we scan the QR code, he'll get the provenance of the product. To make sure that you all understood this part, I've made that part within a flow. More, anyone, any doubts? guys, on Saturday, on Sunday, on September 5th, the midnight, the submission for your two personal problem statements already contracts, smart contracts will be done. Okay, you have only access for September 5th. On 6th, I'll just have a long go through of all the contracts. We'll have a discuss. I mean, we are Sunday we have a 3 hours class because we have enough time. We'll discuss the best smart contract and we'll discuss the what are the loopholes, how we can develop the smart contracts in a more efficient way. I'll just help you all. Okay, try to make sure that use this time more efficiently and take a best problem statement and solve that. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Cool. I need more responses for the yesterday's assignment. I have seen only few responses. Make sure you all need to know some information, guys. Okay, I need the response from your side so that you all get to know on the Sunday we have a class from 9 to 12. On Saturday we have the same times like 7:30 to 9, Monday to Saturday. On Sunday we have a 3 hours class. Is that understood, guys? Is that okay for everyone? Cool then. Great. I hope you have a wonderful class today. Hope just put your hands on the smart contract which we have shared and let me know how you feel so that you have the time today. I'll just give some time to work on your problem statement today and tomorrow and just submit your smart contract. Is that clear, guys, to everyone? Make sure you have test your smart contracts on deploying the contract on the ring test network. And don't worry, guys, on deploying on the test nets, the network the speed may be slow, the deploying speed may be slow, and the transaction speed may be slow. Don't worry about that. Is that clear, guys? We'll just discuss as Abdul on online shopping. Cool. We will discuss that. Don't worry about that. But I'll just give a small example. There is a MoonPay called it's an integration part where we can pay with the ethers, where we can transfer the ethers if the company e-commerce site agrees with that. There is a MoonPay API, external API like a SDK, which help us in paying it like it's a PayPal type, where we have a flow of paying it online payment. Is that clear to everyone, guys? So thanks for every question. Make sure that you take an active participation and we'll just develop that app to the utmost. Clear, guys? Have a nice day. Happy coding, all the developers. Bye bye. Take care.